Aloha and welcome back to the channel. So what I'm going to do in this video is I am going to just do a short hop from KGON, which is New London, over to New Haven, which is about a 25-minute flight. But the focus is going to be over here on this huge tablet. This is a used first generation 12.9-inch iPad Pro, and I'm running, well, really no special software, honestly. I'm actually got a web address in the browser, and this is portal.sayintentions.ai. This is an alternative to having the Sayintentions software on a pop-up on your computer. It just puts it on the tablet. Now, the reason I'm doing it over here, vice on my 6-inch mini, is to just show you how the Sayintentions software works with this. And there's no special setups. You just go to a web address, which is Sayintentions AI .com/comlink, brings it up in this browser, brings it up in this window, and you're done. So the aircraft is already pre-flighted, everything's set up, and it really is only about a 25-minute flight over. But I haven't done any of my comms yet. I haven't set anything up. So the first thing I'll do is I will dial over and I'll get my ATIS info.
Visual approaches in use.
And it tells me
Advise on course
what that ATIS is right here.
Flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 119.85. Advise on initial contact. You have information Sierra. Groton New London Airport information Sierra. 2056 Zulu. Wind 150 at 9er. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, clear. Temperature 13. Decimal 9er. QNH 1014. Arriving and departing runways 1523. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading altitude and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 119.85. Advise on initial contact. You have information Sierra. Groton New London Airport information Sierra. 2056 Zulu. Wind 150 at 9er. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, clear. Temperature 13. Decimal 9er. QNH 1014. Arriving and departing runways 1523. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading altitude and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 119.85. Advise on initial contact. You have information Sierra. Groton New London Airport information Sierra. 2056 Zulu. Wind 150 at 9er. Visibility 1.
Now, what was quirky there, it didn't actually give me the altimeter. It normally will read it out in inches, 2.9 or 9.2, for example. It didn't do that there, so I do not have my altimeter information at this particular moment. Somehow I'll survive. And let's bring up the airport diagram for when they tell me to taxi out. And I'm showing up on there, which is a good thing. And we are good to go. All right. So I kind of have a Sierra, but not really. So Okay, so I just jot down notes on what I think I need to say. But here right now, and again, watch what comes up over here as I do this. You'll get no indication that I keyed my mic, but when they're going to respond, you'll see. Groton Ground, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet with information Sierra at terminal parking, ready for taxi, request flight following to New Haven at 2,500. 701 Lima Juliet.
Skyhawk November 701, Lima Juliet Groton ground clearance on request. Stand by. Skyhawk November 701, Lima Juliet Groton, ground taxi to runway 33 via taxiway Alpha.
Okay, now I'm not going to acknowledge that right away because at this airport there is no taxiway Alpha. So I'm going to request a taxi and I'm going to ask them to give me that transponder code. I'm going to request taxi via Delta across 23. All right, so let's see if they come back to me. Groton Ground, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet. Request taxi via Delta across runway 23 to 33. Request squawk code 701 Lima Juliet. Let's see what they say now.
Skyhawk 701, Lima Juliet taxi to runway 33 via Delta cross runway 23. Squawk 5172, contact tower on 125.6 when ready for departure.
Groton Ground, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet. Taxi to 33 via Delta, crossing runway 23, squawk 5172, contact tower 125.6 when ready for departure. 701 Lima Juliet. Have a good day. Okay, so I think we're good. I'm gonna scoot myself up a little, and we are now going to, now that guy there is right in my way. Now they're asking me to, I already reported ready for taxi, and notice you didn't hear it. They said read back correct, expect runway 33, but you didn't hear it, and it's not in my headphones either, but I'm going to acknowledge it. Groton Ground, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, ready for taxi. So that was a quirk, just not hearing it at all. Let's take our parking brake off. Hopefully I don't hit this guy, but his fault for standing there.
Skyhawk 701, Lima Juliet taxi to runway 33 via Bravo, hold short of runway 5, then continue taxi via Charlie. Contact tower on 125.6 when ready for departure.
And notice they changed it. And there is no Bravo. Groton Ground, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet will taxi to runway 33 via Delta, as Bravo does not go to runway 33. We'll hold short runway 5, then we'll continue taxi via Delta. We'll contact tower on 125.6 when ready for departure. Here we go. I want to see how it responds to that. Pardon my horrible taxi skills here. Alright, so let's hold short. Alright. Groton Ground, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, holding short runway 23 for taxi to runway 33 via Delta. Let's see how it responds to that stutter there.
Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet taxi to runway 33 via Delta, hold short of runway 23. Contact tower on 125.6 when ready for departure.
Groton Ground, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, Roger, copy all. Holding short runway 23, request to cross runway 23 to continue taxi via Delta to runway 33.
Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, cross runway 23, continue taxi via Delta to runway 33. Contact tower on 125.6 when ready for departure.
Groton Ground, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, crossing runway 23 to continue taxi via Delta to 33. Will contact tower 125.6 when ready for departure. Brakes. Now I'm not going to do a run up here. My magneto switch slant starter on my aviation training foundation switch panel is slipping again. I've torqued down that thing at least 3 times. It constantly slips. Just not a fan of that panel. So I'm just not going to do my run up because that's a pain in my butt. But now I'm going to go to 125.6, which is tower. Groton Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, holding short runway 33, ready for departure.
Skyhawk November 701 Lima Juliet Groton Tower, winds calm, runway 33, cleared for takeoff.
Groton Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, winds calm, clear for takeoff. Thanks, have a great day. Lined up on the center here. I used a little too much brakes there, so I'll get us lined up. And That's pretty good. Now let's slowly give it power. Airspeed's alive. A little to the right of center, but that's okay. And rotate. Alright, we are airborne. Now, they never came back with me on my request for flight following, and it still says pending right there. Now, I know I need to actually fly like 278 because I've done this route a bunch of times. So we're up. Make sure we're out. Let's bring the flaps up. We're at 500 feet-ish. And let's clear that. And let's put the actual route in here now. Now let's make sure my layers, not satellite, because that'll be a little better for me here. Close that. Put the route up there. Yeah, 278. So let's go 278.
Skyhawk 701, Lima Juliet, you'll stay with me for departure.
Groton Tower, Skyhawk 701, Lima Juliet, stay with you for departure. So now we're on course for off. Remember, taxi lights off. Everything else is good. So we're on autopilot, slid to the heading bug, coming up to that altitude. And we'll see if we get any more from them. It's a 17-minute flight from this from time now. It's only 34 minutes over. I'll throttle back a little bit, but not too much. Since I am on autopilot, I'm actually gonna call up. Now, all of this I would have done ahead of time had I actually planned the flight out. I didn't really plan it out. So, in my electronic flight bag, my arrival ATIS is 133.65. Tower is 124.8. And ground is 121.7. So life is good. We are set for New Haven. And they're either going to bring me in on runway 20 or runway 2. That's really all they got. Let's go back to our map. Now they also got 3.2 and 1.4, but those are smaller. We'll see if they choose to use any of that. Now, if it's just me without the camera going, I can leave the Sayintentions on here. But one quirk I've had is when I jump back and forth from a browser window over to my electronic flight bag, my electronic flight bag gets kicked out of external GPS, which is the GPS that's running synced up on the Wi-Fi. So I'll constantly have to go into external, shift it back to the right GPS source. So I'm constantly playing catch up if I do it that way. And what I may end up doing is seeing if my other tablets have the same quirk. Because what I might do is, if they don't, because I have a much newer Apple tablet, I may just put my electronic flight bag over here. I've seen some people do that, and I kind of like having it off to the side as well. So I may do that. I haven't really decided yet. And I can put the notepad right here and then just write on here. There's a channel I really like watching, Fly with Kay. I don't know if you've ever tuned over to her channel. She's got a Piper. It's an awesome little Piper, and she does some great flights. It's interesting watching her, just to see how fluent she is in the procedures and the comms. I've been working on my comms thanks to Sayintentions, trying to get a little more confident in what I'm saying and doing. Don't think I'll get to that level, but having that tablet over here may be a good thing for me. We'll see. And I'm still 27 miles away. I'm a little off track, but not too far. A little north of track. I notice my flight following is still pending. Doing really good though. We're making about 120 knots over ground, speed over ground. I didn't really need to trim too much on the aircraft. And as a side note, I'm not really happy with my trim wheel. It's one I built, so it's my fault. So I may have to tweak it. Today would kind of be a perfect day for flying though. And at random, my OAT over here has just died on me. So I may have to, after the flight, have to address that. Luckily I don't need it on this flight. But yeah, it's, I don't know if it just died or if it just needs to be reset. Everything else is working fine over here though. I can tweak my fuel flow a little bit. I mean, I'm below 3,000, so I probably really shouldn't anyways, but and everything's responding like it should. Just my little window over here for outside air temp and whatnot was working fine at the beginning of the flight because it let me know I was at 54 degrees, which is about right. 10 minutes till we hit New Haven. Not literally hit it, but vicinity of. I'm liking the scenery. When I hit about 10 miles out, I'll contact the New Haven Tower. Even though I'm still with Groton Tower, I figure about 10 miles is the right time to do that. And tower is 124.8. So I'll dial that up and have it ready to go. But I will also get my ATIS information for New Haven, which is on 133.65. So I'll actually do that down here. My secondary radio.
Airliner 5. Arriving and departing runway 20. Visual approach is in use. Advise on course heading altitude and if flight following is requested. Read all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 121.7. Advise on initial contact you have information whiskey. Tweet New Haven Airport information whiskey. 2153 Zulu. Wind 110 at 12. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, view at 8000 feet. Temperature 15. Dew point 11. Altimeter 299.5. Arriving and departing runway 20. Visual approach is in use. Advise on course heading altitude and if flight following is requested. Read all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 121.7. Advise on initial contact you have information whiskey. Tweet New Haven Airport.
Okay. So I have information whiskey for New Haven. And I'll be going to them on 124.8. And I may, I'm going to ask them what their pattern altitude is, just to see what they're, see if they, and so we're coming up on the, so. So I'm going to give it a very complicated question slant check-in, and we'll see how it responds. So 124.8. New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet at 2,500 feet, 10 miles to the east, with information whiskey. Request full stop landing with a question. And let's see.
Skyhawk November 701, Lima Juliet, Tweed, New Haven Tower. Enter left downwind for runway 2.
Left downwind for runway 2. Tweed, New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, Roger. Enter left downwind for runway 2. What is your pattern altitude? 701 Lima Juliet. That was my question, so I'm just going to ask what the pattern altitude is. It even gave me the what is your pattern altitude question mark. I think it's either 1,000 or 1,500. Not really sure which. It's not acknowledging my question though. So let's ask it again. Tweed, New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet. What is pattern altitude?
Ground 701 Lima Juliet, Tweed, New Haven Tower. Enter left downwind for runway 2.
Tweed, New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet. What is pattern altitude? I went full in.
Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, pattern altitude is 1,000.
Thank you. 1,000. Tweed, New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, Roger, pattern altitude 1,000 feet. Roger, enter left downwind for runway 2. So, we're getting ready to pass over the airport. Then I'll pass over a little bit and then come left for the downwind.
Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, winds calm. Runway 2 cleared to land.
Tweed, New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, wind calm, clear for runway 2. Roger, copy all. Have a good day. So we slowed down a little. You can see here's my airport. I'm on my minimum range scale now apparently. We'll pass over. Then we'll come left.
Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, have a good day. And safe flying out there.
I like that. That was nice. Let's make sure we come down to pattern altitude. Alright, so we're passing over the runway now, which is happening right to my left. some fuel tanks down there to the right. And there's runway 20. I can see they got a 737 down there and a smaller commuter aircraft. Well, two smaller commuter, one turboprop. Almost looks like a Q400 kind of thing, like a Dash 80, or small Embraer. And here shortly, alright, so now we're going to come left to 200. Tweed New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, entering left downwind for runway 2. Alright, so we're on our downwind.
Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, roger, report midfield downwind for runway 2.
Tweed New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, at midfield, continuing downwind. Alright.
Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, roger, continue downwind, report base flight for runway 2.
Tweed New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, roger, continuing downwind, will report when on base flight.
Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, roger.
Alright. We're going to go a little further south here. I'm going to come over to 110. Tweed New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, coming to left base for runway 2.
Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, roger, report final for runway 2.
Tweed New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, roger, on left base, will report when on final for runway 2. Tweed New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, coming to final for runway 2.
Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet, roger.
He talked over me. I had my mic keyed, he talked over me. And I overshot a little. I can recover that. Tweed New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701 Lima Juliet is on final for runway 2. I'm a little fast, but I can recover that too. I wish I had planned this video a little better, or planned the flight a little better, but the main portion was just to show you that. So it's not too bad. A little low, but that's fine. We're right at the right speed. Everything else is looking good. Plenty of runway to play with. So we pass by here. And we're actually gonna go here. My EFB just crapped out on me a little bit, so, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But then I'll park here. Just gonna hit the brakes. And I'm gonna dial over to ground, which is 121.7.
Skyhawk 701, Lima Juliet. Welcome to Tweed, New Haven. Contact ground on 121.7.
Tweed New Haven Tower, Skyhawk 701, Lima Juliet. Thank you. We'll contact ground 121.7. Have a good day. Tweed New Haven ground, Skyhawk 701, Lima Juliet. Is clear the active. Request taxi to the gates. So it's going to be taxi via Charlie. I believe I'm already on Charlie, so it really doesn't matter. I'm going to the west ramp. I'm just going to start taxiing. We'll see if they talk to me. Tweed New Haven ground, Skyhawk 701, Lima Juliet. Request taxi to the west ramp. Well, I'm pulling in anyways. All right. It's off. All mixtures off. Throttles off. And master off. 25-minute flight. Overall, again, I'm happy with the Sayintentions software. I really like this tool. But you see it didn't update with the last couple things that I asked for. It didn't update with the ground. There were a couple callouts to the ground. They just never went anywhere, apparently. And it could be because it's such a small airport. Because the second you get off the runway and you get on Charlie, Charlie's only maybe 200 yards or 300 yards, and then you're right at the west ramp area, which is right where I am now. But as you can see, everything happens in the window. It's kind of nice. My only quirk, again, if I run this tool, this browser with Sayintentions on it, on my Mini, it kicks me out of my electronic flight bag. It actually shifts my GPS on me. So that's kind of my one quirk to deal with when I am flying it normally. It's more of a pain in the butt than a showstopper. And again, on their window here, when it first pops up, before there's any comms, they even say it's a beta, and they tell you what issues they're working on. Overall, I really do like it. please don't, you know, critique the flying too much. I'm still working on that. I think my comms are getting a little better, and I think Sayintentions has helped with that a great deal. Yeah, still a fan of Sayintentions software. I am looking forward to Beyond ATC coming out, just so I can try that and compare and contrast the two. Because if Beyond ATC is decent, it'll be a cheaper alternative to Sayintentions. But that's about all I've got for this one. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know, as always, throw them down below. I think for the next video, what I might do in a couple days is actually walk through a pre-flight or a pre-flight, which is setting up my sim before I even launch Microsoft Flight Simulator. Because one of the things about having a setup like this is you actually have to go in ahead of time and you have to run a bunch of stuff out of the sim first, then bring up the sim and have everything just kind of sync up. So it's kind of like a checklist, if you will. So if anybody's curious about what it takes to run a larger setup, I may do that. But again, any questions, comments, concerns, throw them below. Thanks for watching. You know, and as always, stay safe and happy flying out there. Now let me get out of the way here.